Hi, I'm Kelly from Pond Megastore. This year we want to continue to help you more with your water garden. We're very excited about our new internet videos. Each episode will focus on a specific question we often get about water gardens. We want to help you make your water garden a fun and exciting experience. If you have any questions that we haven't answered on our web videos, please feel free to email us at pondmegastore.com. Let's have a fantastic year.
Hello everybody, this is Nate
And this is Zach.
from pondvlog.com. We put together this series to kind of help you with a lot of the frequent questions we get on some standard stuff. Today we'll be talking about how to properly plant your water lily. We'll be covering how to plant your bog plants, your tropical lilies, and also lotus.
This first lily we're going to take a look at here in a second after we stop looking at the pretty blooming full-grown lilies in the pond. This is how your pond should look. Is actually a divided lily that we're going to remove from the pond. We're going to take the eyes off. A tuber is like a potato with eyes. The tuber is the long extended part of the water lily that we're looking at right now. You'll see the roots down below the tuber and the stems, the lily pads, above the tuber. Where the stems come out is called the crown of the water lily. And that's going to remain above the pot at all times because it needs to get sunlight. And this is a juvenile hardy water lily. Most water lilies won't have 4 or 5 leaves. They'll have probably anywhere from 10 to 30. And blooms for a hardy water lily, most days of the spring and summer, would be anywhere from 1 to 3, 4, or 5 blooms. To maximize the performance of your water lily, you want to have it potted correctly.
So before we get into how to actually pot your lily correctly, let's kind of take a look at the different parts of the lotus
Or the water lily.
or the water lily.
This is a water lily.
So we'll go through, let's kind of take a look at the different parts of this water lily. The very first part that everyone sees from looking from their deck or their patio is the leaves on the lily. There's a couple different kinds. There's a mottled leaf, which gives you the dark purple hue on the plant. It kind of gives you a variegated look. And then there's also just the more the standard, the dark green. A lot of your hardies have the dark green, whereas the yellows may have a little bit of a speckled look to them. Your tropicals have a fantastic variety you can pick from. Your night blooming will have a very dark hue to them, and a lot of your other tropicals will have the hue variegated like I was talking about before.
Some of the hardy water lilies, you'll get different sizes. A small hardy lily might have lily pads that are only 2 or 3 inches across, and the might want to plant it pretty shallow if it's a small lily. You'll find on websites people will tell you if it's small, medium, or large. The lilies are held up by the stems that you can see on the diagram right now. The stems have a lot of air in them that they send up to the leaves, which make them buoyant, which make them grow to the surface. A medium water lily would probably have 4 to 5 inch pads. Large water lilies can have anywhere from 7 to 10 inch pads. And you can tell how good your lily is performing by the size of the leaves. If it's a large plant, you want large leaves. If you have small leaves on a large lily, you probably have more than one lily growing in the pot. Right there we have the tuber, the crown. The crown is the most important part. When we plant this, we're going to plant it at a 45-degree angle with the crown above the soil. And the soil that we're going to use today is a heavy loam or a clay soil. A lot of places recommend you use cat litter or a couple aquatic plant medias. You will not get the nutrition that the lilies need without fertilizer and real soil. The roots love nutrients. You're going to want to fertilize these plants every 3 to 4 weeks from spring through the fall.
And when we're doing this, probably the best thing to do is examine the lily when it's out of the pot. Cut back any excess from the tuber. Lots of times you'll look at the crown. You can probably leave about 4 inches of tuber and then cut at that point. When you're planting these, you really want to kind of get the soil wet, make a space, push the roots down first, and gently push the tuber down into the soil. And again, when you're doing this, the most important thing is leaving the crown exposed. We've had a lot of clients call us and wonder why their lily's not performing like it should. And this generally comes down to the point that they've either buried the crown with soil or they've put too much gravel on top of it.
Yeah, if you put too much gravel on top of it, you're going to stop the sunlight from hitting the crown. If you prevent the sunlight from hitting the crown, no leaves can grow to the surface, and the lily will slowly just sit in there and die. You'll notice the leaves over a couple weeks will just start to rot and die. Lilies like very still water, a very placid part of the pond. Keep it away from fountains, waterfalls. This is a diagram of the pea gravel that you can use. Only use pea gravel if you have no fish or just small goldfish or shubunkins. If you have koi, use lava rock. Lava rock will stop the koi from picking up the pebbles and uprooting your plants. And this lily here is a very juvenile plant. Most lilies are much bigger. There again you can see leave the crown exposed.
And that's very important. If you don't use lava rock when you have large koi in your pond, they'll dig through the soil and make quite a mess. So it's very important what type of granular stone you put on top of your soil. In the placement, there's a couple things you can take a look at. A lot of contractors will make gravel basins in the bottom of your pond and just fill them with gravel into the deepest part. For best blooms, largest leaves, make sure to always plant your lily only about 6 to 18 inches deep.
And with juvenile plants like the one we're looking at right now, plant them closer to the surface. They will grow a lot faster. In the springtime, bring your lilies up to the top. The water's usually a lot warmer near the surface of the water. So the warmer the water, the quicker your lilies are going to start to grow and bloom.
So thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you again from pondvlog.com.
Remember, for all your other questions, visit us at pondmegastore.com.